vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records. It is Monday, which means it's time for another installment of Vinyl Editions. We are at episode 97, counting down to episode 100. Not doing anything special for it, but pretty cool. That means I've been doing Vinyl Editions for pretty close to 2 years. Awesome. Anyway, let's get into this week's editions. Really excited for this week. Lots of cool stuff and more coming for next week. I'm super excited about, but we'll get there next week. Let's start with a few gifts. I received this as a gift from one of the Vinyl community members. David is a good friend, and he is a champion of this band. Black Road is the name. Susie, the lead singer here, she is in the vinyl group that we're in together, and just really appreciates all of the support that that group gives her and her band. This is a limited edition copy of their 2017 album. It's called Witch of the Future. It's on this really cool red vinyl, and it's limited to a whopping 50 copies, I believe. So pretty cool to have a copy of this. I feel quite honored that he would send this to me, and it's really cool. It's doom metal type stuff, really good, a really fun listen. She's a great singer. Really enjoyed the guitars and everything in this as well, so super happy to have this. So thank you, David. I appreciate this quite a bit. Black Road is the band, Witch of the Future is the album. Check it out. They are on Bandcamp. They are on all the streaming services as well. Well worth a listen to. All right, so I had won a contest from Beth over at B-Sides, or Red Rum Records now. I had won a contest from her. She was giving away a digital code, and unfortunately the one I won, the digital code had expired and wasn't working. So she sent out, of the goodness of her heart, a $10 gift card to Amazon and said, go ahead and buy the digital vinyl or something, or digital copy or something else that you might want. And I thought it only fitting that I use the $10 towards something that she would appreciate and that I've been wanting for quite a while, and this is what I ended up getting. This is Zodiac Soundtrack, so the movie The Zodiac, which was fantastic. Jake Gyllenhaal is in there, and yeah, just super pumped about it. I knew she's a big soundtrack person, and I knew she'd appreciate this, so I definitely picked this up. Really excited to spin it. It's a really good movie, and one that I like to watch every once in a while, even though it freaks the crap out of me. But of course, the big song on here that I really enjoy is Donovan's Hurdy Gurdy Man. Really like that, so super pumped to finally add that to my collection. All right, speaking of Amazon, as you know, if you've watched this series for any amount of time, I'm a big guy who likes to do Amazon Warehouse and Amazon Warehouse finds. And so I've got two things to show you today. This first one is an album that was rated by Amazon as very good condition, which usually means it's pretty much spotless. It's probably been opened and returned. Might have a small warp to it because some people get picky about that, but otherwise it's usually in pretty good shape. So I took a chance on it, and it ended up being sealed, completely sealed, and was super excited about this. This is the Jackson 5 Skywriter. It's an album that not many people are very familiar with. I don't think it really spawned any big hits for the Jackson 5, but it's a great album. It's 1973, I believe, is when this one came out. Yeah, 1973 on Motown, and just one of the Jackson 5 albums I didn't have in my collection, and the price was extremely low, so I took a chance on it, and that worked out really, really well. Comes on this bronze, they call it. It's more like a tan or brown color. Very good sounding album, and this is done by LRMR out of France. They do some really good reissues, high quality reissues on audiophile copies, and usually on color, and they're limited edition. Like, I believe most of them come out at like 1,000 copies. They did Cinderella's Heartbreak Station on Record Store Day. They did Tesla's Great Radio Controversy on one of the record store drops as well, and so I had no hesitation when I picked this up because I know they sound absolutely fantastic. So that was good. Another one I picked up from Amazon Warehouse, also rated VG, very good. Again, basically said that there was some marks on the packaging. It might come prepackaged. This is where Amazon got it way wrong. Great stuff here. This is Skid Row's United World Rebellion Chapter 1. You don't see this on vinyl very often. I was quite surprised to see it in the warehouse at all. So I jumped on it, especially at the price. But this thing came just completely annihilated. spine splits on all sides, just creased and bent to hell. Thankfully, the record itself is fine. It's actually basically mint. Just great copy of the record. But how they got that so wrong, I don't know. This cover is beat to crap, and I'm happy to have this in my collection because, like I said, it's very hard to find this one. I don't see it very often. It's not a pricey record by any means, but it's just not many people bought this album, so there's not a whole lot of them floating around out there for sale. So happy to add this to my collection. Really enjoy it, and just a weird case of Amazon getting it wrong. Here's a new release that came out. Not really a new release, but a new repress. This is Fleetwood Mac's Mr. Wonderful. I believe this is the second Fleetwood Mac album that came out, featuring Peter Green, of course, on guitars, and super excited to have this. This comes up as a 2017 press. I just think they repressed it and reissued it again with the 2017 press that they did. Haven't opened it up yet. I'm looking forward to spinning that. It'll probably go on the turntable today or tomorrow. But Peter Green, I think this completes my Peter Green collection of Fleetwood Mac albums, and all of the pre-Stevie Nicks, Lindsey Buckingham Fleetwood Mac albums as well. So really excited about that, to give this a spin. It's very exciting. So Fleetwood Mac's Mr. Wonderful. All right, I won a couple albums on auction. The first one, another one to add to my Dolly Parton collection. This is The Fairest of Them All by Dolly Parton. Super stoked when this came up because the ones I have left to get are the ones that are usually typically very difficult to find. And this is one of them I don't see very often. So when this came up, I jumped at it. Very excited to have it. Sounds great. Cover is a little beat up, but otherwise really good sounding album and in excellent shape on the vinyl. So happy to add another Dolly to my collection. And then this came up, and I grabbed this as well. This is Randy Travis's 8x10, old 8x10, and this one has deeper than the holler on it, and very excited to have this. I now have 3 of his albums on vinyl. Really started getting into them probably about 6 or 7 years ago. Kind of wrote them off when I was in my country phase, but now that I'm actually taking a listen to that music again, really appreciate Randy Travis and really enjoy his music, so happy to add that to my collection as well. Visited a couple stores. My son had a basketball tournament and they didn't allow any spectators, so I had to find 3 hours of something to do. What better than to go to a couple record stores that were open on a Sunday afternoon. First one I visited was new to me. I believe it's called Solsta Records in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. They used to have a storefront in Minneapolis, moved out of Minneapolis and got the place where the Needle Doctor, if you've ever bought from the Needle Doctor, they closed business just out of the blue one day, and that building's been vacant ever since. These guys took over that building and moved in a record store, so I picked this up. This is the best of Michael Jackson. It's a Motown compilation that they put out back in the 70s, 1975, and I had this on cassette growing up. It's got all the big ones from him as a solo artist. You got to Be There, Ben, Rockin' Robin, I Want to Be Where You Are, Music and Me, just a really good comp of Michael Jackson's Motown stuff. And so super happy to add that to my collection. And then I visited my good friends at Down in the Valley, and I picked up the last remaining John Bush era Anthrax reissue, Volume 8. Super excited to spin this. I've never heard this album before, but I love the John Bush era of Anthrax, and the 3 albums I have so far, absolutely love them. I can't imagine this will be any different, so real excited about this. That completes the John Bush reissues that came out for Anthrax. Super excited about this here, guys. Another online get. There was a big online selling event with 4 main Facebook selling groups combined together to have like an all-day sell-a-thon, and I was able to pick this up. This is Slaughter, Stick It To You. This is the original press. It's an Italian pressing. It sounds really good, and I wanted to see how it compared to my original or my reissue copies that I got from Friday Music, so I will probably take some time and really put them on song for song to see how they stack up against each other. I've been told that the original is much better than the Friday Music reissues, so I'm curious to see if that's true or not. Really excited about it though. Slaughter, Stick It To You. Original 1990 press. Last but certainly not least, I'm really excited. I saw this announced last week by Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, and I was super stoked to have finally picked this up. This is the original master recording of Layla and Other Love Songs by Derek and the Dominoes featuring Eric Clapton. This is a great album, and so when this came back up on the original master recording, I had to jump at it. I've been told that it wasn't the best recording to start from, but this is definitely the best sounding version of the album, so I'm looking forward to giving it a spin and just really immersing myself in that opening guitar lick from Layla, which I absolutely love. Bell Bottom Blues is on here as well. Just really, really looking forward to spinning this. But this one just came recently, and now I'm happy to add it to my ever-growing Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab collection. Super pumped. So that's it for this week's vinyl editions. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you think about the albums that I showed this week. I've got a really big one coming in the next couple days. I'm super excited about. It's another Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab pressing. It's an original master recording, and it's one that's been out of print for a while, so I'm super stoked. I found it for a really good deal, and I cannot wait till it gets here to put it on. So next week you'll see what that is. If you want to know before then, check out my Instagram page and my Facebook page. You just look for Brian's Vinyl Records on both. I do post everything that I listen to throughout the day on that page, whether it be vinyl, cassette, CD, whatever, even streaming. I do post what I'm listening to at the time, so check that out if you want to know what it is beforehand, because it will get on that turntable shortly after it gets here. Otherwise, check it out next week on the Vinyl Editions 98. That does it for Vinyl Editions 97. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep spinning, vinyl friends.